Alright, well hello there everybody, welcome to VR Master League Channel 2. I know we were just live, but can you believe it? We're live again. This time, I'm Palidore here, joining you on this channel. Of course, VRML 1 will be running some master streams a little bit here in about half an hour. But for those who are joining me here, well, thank you for doing so. We have a gold level match. It's Geodudes versus Toxin. So, now that my Tox in, let's see. Twitch chat, how's it going? Got Ivan Thriven there, Punda VR. Hi, Punda. You notice I don't have my glasses, so I have to kind of lean in again. And Miss Revenge. Hopefully I didn't do anything to warrant said revenge. That said, round one's about to start here, so yeah, welcome to it. On the orange side of things, we got Golden Fire, Crispy. She got a donk. Oh boy, an 015A. So hey, some fun names to say, I suppose. Toxin on this side of the floor has Giovanni, Speedy, Ollie, or All, I suppose, and Sokka. Alright, so got the first joust here, a few brawls off of it, losing the disc into the midfield, it seems. Two in the midfield, able to recover for Toxin. And Toxin working their way up the floor as Speedy takes position. So right below, on the trench, it's Donk guarding. I think that's the right name to say, right? Could say she, or gotta. But no, let's go with Donk. Why not? So as the teams there go bonk bonk on the other end of the floor, Giovanni has a lot of time to capture the disc. What happened to my glasses? Oh, they're somewhere. Just not at my desk at the moment. But they're around, don't you worry. So still scoreless after the first minute of play, but once again able to retrieve with plenty of time. Was All with a disc. Sokka now the recovery, has the drivers there potentially, but Crispy stunning out and clearing out. Now if they can turn around, maybe get some boosts here, that's exactly what they would need. Instead, it'll be all with the recovery after the nice tap boost, and Speedy with a disc. Anyone does know if it's all or Ali, Alxi? It's one of those names. Very awkward to say without knowing first, I suppose. So if anyone knows for sure, and isn't a troll, let me know. But meanwhile, Crispy here on the outer edge of the bubble will pass that off. A good handoff there to Donk. And again, another bonk getting stunned, stolen. And Sokka trying to send it out there, but will be just a self-pass as a matter of fact. Maybe once and twice, but no. 0-15 with another intercept there to Speedy, however. Not to be confused by Speedy V, the 4-year veteran of Echo, but Speedy 124. So forward into the midfield, those stacks splitting off on defense now around that rad logo. Giovanni able to get a nice bounce pass actually to Sokka. Sokka needs to check behind and is finding the first 2 points after a couple minutes of action. And they'll welcome the sight of that. Miss Revenge saying, I love watching gold tier teams. I can watch and get tips. Yeah, I mean, top to bottom, I'm always impressed with the level of play that we see as Echo grows across the tiers now. Not just Master, but Diamond, Platinum, and going for the gold, but instead it's stole by Speedy. So Speedy, that bouncer over there to all at the other end of the floor, and right back to Speedy. A good patient play here, and again, going back to that whole talk about all these ranks really from Master all the way through the likes of Gold and Silver and Bronze teams as well. You know, I've streamed a few Bronze teams here just recently this week, and some of them actually impressed a whole lot with what they were able to execute in terms of the team play, the chemistry, the positioning, things like that. So, absolutely, all these streams in VRML, great for learning as much as entertaining. So anyway, down the floor, it will be Dunk with a recovery here, it looks like, has some angles, jukes the cameraman, that's me, as well as the players, but unable to find a pass. Into the wedge, recovered by Giovanni, but for a moment. Meanwhile, Golden trying on this approach to Dunk, they have 2 players on the backboard, will opt for the shot instead, does not produce the 2 points. Now Crispy, a pass over, intercepted by Sokka. Someone called Pamwow. You would love having Sokka on this team. Him and I are some Avatar nerds as right now. That is a very nice shot from the aforementioned Sokka. With a great angle, or angle, if you know what I mean. Emma plays in there asking the ranks. These 2 teams are Gold Division. 9-2 records for Geodudes, very impressively, and Toxin with a 9-3 record. So honestly, that could be indicative of even higher ranks with that many wins and that few of losses on the board. That's indicative of 2 teams who are just climbing so far in these first 6 weeks of Season 4. Now a shot there, it's a well Season 3, and it's exactly what you want to see from Crispy. Very well cooked, obviously. So first 3 on the board for them now, and they're within 2 as we reach this halfway point of the round. But yeah, for Toxin here, they are on a 6-game win streak, as a matter of fact, against the likes of the Gentleman, the Harry J Experience, Team Underground, Dishonor, Atreus, and Dysfunctional most recently. And not only that, those wins for Toxin, they were actually by pretty decent margins. They weren't, a lot of those weren't even close games. In fact, the former 3 were actually all 20-0, it seems like. So, yeah, this team is certainly on the rise. Now, with that on Geodude's side, they actually just lost their first game after, looks like something like 9 tries, 8 wins in a row, 9 wins in a row, something along the lines of that. They were having a super impressive rise in the Gold Division, Silver and Gold as well. So where these teams will stop, nobody knows. That disc is going to be stopped by the barrier, and Crispy going to be stopped by the punch. Now the disc carrier, Speedy with the recovery, taps off, resets. Good team play as Sokka moves up the floor along with Giovanni right at the flank. Now from the flank to the front, see if they can't make move on the goal here, a wind, but no, the windmill not producing a 2-pointer, but still a good look. Sokka shall rebound this one, sends it over to all, has 2 cutters, misses them both, unfortunately, too far behind. Now Giovanni with a good stun causes that turnover, but just as well, you gotta beware of the dunk. Too big to maintain. That defense is gonna cause a lot of trouble for you. But that said, that's when the communication is even more pertinent, right? Just have to, once you got the disc pounced on, gotta figure out where that next pass is going, what angles you have there. That said, Crispy just playing it right below there and able to get a clear as well. Those midfield clears, always a dangerous thing, as the chat pointed out, but it did actually squeeze by said midfielder, so this is gonna give an opening for maybe some offense. Great pass to Crispy. Crispy from the back to the front. Side to side, back, front, side to side. And they are all tied at 5-5. How about that?
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Shiny Geodude is goated. There's Turkey. Geodudes. Ivan saying Geodudes might have some success here today. Well, I assume that's what you mean, against the win streak here. The Space Bears is where they lost their first match, again, in like a whole month. Otherwise, for Geodudes, they've been absolutely on fire. So Toxin trying to get their scores back on the board here. They've got 2.5 minutes left as we are deadlocked at 2 apiece. Sokka dancing and juking around like it's a piece of cake. Speaking of cake, there's Dunk again with another turn around and turnover into the blue zone. That's going to float near that goal, nearly made it as well. That would have been a massive hit, especially at this time of the match, this juncture of the round. Now a stun here, that stack playing aggressively, those two players duoing it up, but Giovanni's sending it way deep down. Now there is one Speedy in the goal, but this is a disadvantage in terms of the number situation, and we do see it play against Speedy there. Clear, though, intercepted nicely, and those midfield clears still yet dangerous. You got to watch out for them. So this will give another opportunity to maybe take advantage, take a lead, and a lead here would be crucial with the clock continually ticking low. Yeah, a lot of tongue twisters up in here, certainly, but don't worry, I prepared all my life for this. Sort of. All right, that said, I'm bound to get my tongue tied at some point, don't you worry. But we'll be overtaken by 0-15 and 15 into the midfield. Neither team really able to get much headway now the last minute or two of action. Oh, that said, wow, she got a dunk. They got the 3. And the split second, it finally got cleared into the blue zone. Because it took a minute and a half about. The second it got into the blue zone, another second later, and that was a goal. Looking super confident. That was not the easiest of shots, but hit it in the perfect spot. So that is a really massive get for Geodudes to now force Toxin into scoring 3 points, perhaps, to either tie it up or quick twos. 2 quick twos would do it, but there's not a whole lot of space for that to happen. So the more and more, especially with this reset, more and more clock goes off, the more likely it is they're going to have to prioritize a 3 here soon and eye down those goalies. But we'll see what they opt for as Sokka tries to drive it in, sending it to that anchor pass, but anchor not completed there. Another one from the boots, but another stun as well. 3 players out of there, and that clear getting past the midfielder again. So if nothing else, they have had a midfielder there, but unable to obtain and actually punish for the midfield clears. And that could be costly as we do approach this last 10 seconds of play, and all they have to do really is control it for another couple seconds, and it will be the round at the very least. Maybe. Let's see here. Into a near shot at the goal. Wouldn't that have been something? But no, the first round, won by Geodudes. Showing that despite the recent loss, they're looking to just start a new streak here today, perhaps. But first win, looking good. So shout out to, of course, IgniteVR.gg for providing Spark, and the Spark overlays here you see on the statistics screen. What's up to Check? Winnie Check? Whiny Check? How's it going? Quick question. I'll have a quick answer if I can. I'll try. Let me know. Scott, what's up as well? D-Foot and Soggy. Welcome to all you guys. Happy to have you here. Cooler name equals better team, says Punda. Maybe. I mean, if you think about it, it's not totally wrong, right? Like if you look at Master Tier, it seems as if Master and Diamond, the cooler the logo, the cooler the team, the better the team, right? Or the cooler the logo, the cooler the name. Just, it's uncanny. Like a requirement. If you want to be in Diamond or Master, you have to have some cool, marketable looks and names. So, who knows? Maybe something to that. That said, both of these names quite cool in my opinion. You know, Geodudes, not gonna be poking fun at those Pokemon, but a Toxin as well. As I said, the Toxin, but will the Walks be in as well? That's the question. Got to do a little bit of both here in Echo. Talk a big game, walk a big game, have a good game, make caster happy, all that good stuff. When you check asking cast the match at 9 Eastern. So, not that it's a huge deal, but just a friendly reminder that, yeah, asking casters for cast directly is typically not allowed because we do have 400 teams exactly as of this week. So asking casters directly, if we did allow that, there would be far, far too many DMs flooding all our casters' messages and inboxes pretty much daily. So the best way to guarantee or to get a cast is utilize the hype vote system. Is one thing you can do on the match pages of VRML.com. That little arrow that's kind of on the right side of matches, if you click those, that is a hype vote button, and when casters are looking to pick up matches every day, they will factor those in pretty heavily. It's not the only factor, but it is a fairly significant factor. Other things that factor in, of course, are how what other matches are happening at the time. You know, master matches and diamond matches will typically get prioritized since they do have effects on the cups and the prizing and things like that, and usually the highest hype votes also, for that matter. But also things like how often a team has been streamed will get factored in, and things like that. Another thing you can do to better enable your match to be casted is if you're in more open time slots, as maybe this first shot being taken and made by Giovanni. Nice and easy. But yeah, especially like for the evening prime time slots, like for NA right now, basically, or about to start, where you have 30 matches happening in a 3 or 4 hour span. Stuff like that would be a lot less likely for most of those teams to get casted, obviously. Now, if you're picking time slots that is, say, right before prime time or right after prime time when there's only 1 or 2 other matches happening, that gives you an increased chance. And then the last thing you can do, of course, on Channel 1 is if you watch streams on Channel 1 every night, you get channel points just by watching. And you can use 15,000 channel points to get a guaranteed cast in the coming week or 2. Now, Speedy gets another 2, not weak at all, looking strong to start off this round, so I wouldn't hold on to what we were saying earlier just yet. You know, a good start for Toxin can definitely get them the juice they need to go into the 3rd round. There you go, 14k channel points on VRML1, so exactly, yeah, you can use those to get an actual guaranteed cast for sure. In the sense that when you redeem it, we'll get one of your matches within like that next week, basically. So it could be your next one, maybe your next 2 or 3, but we'll prioritize you for a cast, basically, in the coming week. So, a lot of different ways to do it. But yeah, not a bad thing to cover there, because I know a lot of people are not always clear on those kind of things. That said, into the goal, and, well, clear off the dome of Golden Fire. That's unfortunate, but firing off for 6 quick points. So, hey, we're still looking good for that round 3. This is a very nice start for Toxin, who's been able to get everything they want in these opening couple of minutes. Just some walking goals on that last one, especially. So, Geodudes definitely needing to find an adjustment here, defensively speaking. So, dunk up the floor. We'll send it right down to 15, and 15 from 14 meters deep at 16 a second. So 14, 15, 16. That's some nice symmetry, and that is a nice 3 being delivered to half this lead for Toxin.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Not to dwell on the what I was saying earlier too much more, but just on a side note, and especially personally speaking, I do definitely try to stream as many teams as I can personally, in a variety of teams, and I know all our casters really do just that, as a 3 will tie it just like that. How about it? A big turnover. That's the beauty of these big leagues. You know, we got so many matches all the time to choose from 24/7, and we get so many highlight plays like this. So yeah, we absolutely do try, and I especially do try to get teams of every single rank on any given day. Don't you worry. We'll get you. Channel points or not, I'm sure we'll get you at some point, or at least I will try. But that said, Sokka with a fling. Another immediate hit. Wow, look at that. This is just a fiery round now that suddenly exploded. Both teams can do nothing but score. And a lot of these threes now going through to make that happen. The last 3 shots in a row from either team have been a 3-pointer. So, hey, absolutely popping off. I've been saying I've casted at 2 a.m. Pacific. Yeah, I'm a bit of a night owl. This is true. I wake up later in the day, relatively speaking, but then I also cast later in the day. We'll be all here with a disc now, working up the floor. 1 in the goal, it's Golden Fry. Or Fire, rather. Maybe about to be fried, as Sokka does acquire the 11-6 advantage. So full credit to Toxin, despite Geodudes able to put in a nice 6-0 scoring run. It was a reaction from Toxin, 5-0 scoring run right back at them, to once again secure a nice little lead, a small buffer here, and we still have a lot of time on the clock. But alright, so a timeout initiated by one team or the other. Looks like they are communicating, switch teams to communicate, so not sure what it's about, but this is the only cast on VRML 2 for me for the moment, so not a big worry. I do want to take some more casts, probably. I just haven't got a chance to look at the wide schedule, but it does look like, indeed, in about 9 minutes from now on Channel 1, we'll have Master Division. Austin Burners representing the NEPA organization against Skyline. That will happen again on Channel 1 in 9 minutes, casted by Luke, Retep Worm, and Newton Dad. A little bit later on in the evening, an hour and a half from that, from basically right now, we'll have Overkill versus Redshift, a highly voted match, and that'll be on Channel 1, casted by Nightfire and Solar P, along with Newton Dad on cams. Outside of that, I'll tell you right now, there will be some other matches. I'm gonna go silent for a second, because I'm actually going to assign myself to some, so bear with me. We're going to get some more casts in here tonight, though. Alrighty, so I took at least a couple more matches, probably still will take some more. I'll have Team Underground versus Plague playing on Channel 2 here in about half an hour, or 40 minutes. And following that, we'll have Mongrels versus Reverb. Both those matches had double-digit hype votes, hence me taking it. So that will be done, and we're going back into the second round, yet to be done. But let's see off of this timeout if this maybe slows down both teams a little bit on that scoring pace. Sometimes those timeouts will do that to you. Who's casting burners today? That would be Luke, Retep Worm, Newton Dad, and Speedy here with a recovery. And that's Newton Grab, I suppose. So Giovanni now up the floor. Defense trying to retreat will be successful in that, actually, as all 4 get back into the bubble. Good dives here from Donk, as well as 15, though, looking at the goal, maybe saw a window of opportunity, and it may have been there. Rebound shall be there. A pass winding around that nest, getting past 1 defender, 2, and into the 2 from 7 meters deep. 13-6, that lead increases yet for Toxin. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so yeah, more and more into this round. It's looking quite likely we'll see that third round unless Geodudes can put in another scoring run. The thing is, that first scoring run that Geodudes had was predicated off of open threes, as that nearly was. Sokka turning around right in time. So I think as long as Toxin is able to play it slightly more conservatively, in the sense that they get back onto the defense and not allow any threes from here on out, they'll be even at more of an advantage, because Geodudes does have a fair bit of ground to be making up here. So that's one of the key things when you have a nice lead is don't give up the extra points when you don't need to, right? If you have a multi-goal lead, forcing the other team to score twos over and over and over and win the battle, via paper cuts, it puts you in a lot better of a position. But those threes, if you allow too many open threes in a row, you can lose a lead in an absolute hurry. So it's about maintaining that balance of aggression and also just knowing when to be a little bit more defensive. And yeah, these are definitely some even teams, even matches, I would say. Miss Revenge pointing out there. Because again, minding you, 9-2 record for Geodudes, 9-3 record for Toxin. Neither team loses very much here, but going for the win, at least in that drive. It's an 8-point total for a Donk off that drive, and will it be enough to power them up? We'll see. Pardon the wrong replay there, I believe, but that said, any scores here will be good to at least get them feeling in a better rhythm going into the latter parts of this round. Speedy on the send-off here on this joust, actually just missing an unforced turnover, so, that could be costly, we'll see. But 2-pointers or otherwise, quick goals here will very much help the efforts of Geodudes, who are now trying to press this advantage. Oh, but send it off, and from too far out, that's going to make it a very savable disc from that goalie there. Now looking to punish as well. Open three in their own right, and punish hard. Speedy with the three. 16-8. And they bolster themselves yet again here. Separate note, Gamer Bro looks like they're in the front row fans. Happened to be timed just right, so I caught it. Normally you have to do that over on Channel 1, which I assume is live right now, but so shout out to Channel 1 and to Gamer for the front row fandom there. So with that, I'm a fan of this match. It's been close. Obviously, anytime you get that third round, it's a competitive match, and that one is just 2 minutes away, barring some big comebacks. So Crispy grabs that disc, midfield clear once more. But finding some success, they've gone for those midfield clears several times, and each of them have also been directly down the bottom of the lane on that very, very bottom angle. Good grab, by the way, there. Saved. But something worth noting, I think, in the VODs here, if you're Toxin, although they're in a good position right now, just recognizing where maybe the holes are, which is to say, these midfield clears, usually those should be the least safe of clears for a team to get, but Geodudes has actually been having some pretty decent success getting those clears on. So, being able to adjust on that, because there they go again. See, that was another midfield bottom clear attempt. That one actually did get picked off, however. So flip side for Geodudes, also recognizing that, they don't want to go to the same well too many times necessarily, because it does give teams windows to actually adjust and start covering those things off. So into, guess what? The midfield clear again, although that one not as harmful of a midfield clear since it was coming from, the bow tie area. That's going to produce a 2-on-1 in the goal. They've got it, and it's good. Now Speedy actually got the mitts on it, but perhaps a little Chicago or just a little too late. Whatever the case was. 6-point game, but only 30 seconds remaining, and even less so once this joust is out. So it does look like, indeed, that third round. I would call it elusive, but lately on these streams, at least on mine, they have not been elusive whatsoever. It's just a regularity, yeah. And you love to see that. Sokka eyeing down one more goal, but lost the handles. Might have been going for a slap, but the retain from Ollie. And then that would be, well, golly, an 18-10 lead. So, round 3 it is, ladies and gents. Glad you're here to witness it. With that, though, I will send you off to the score screen, courtesy IgniteVR.gg, and give me about 30 seconds. I need to grab a quick water. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, but you know, all this talking does tend to make a caster hoarse. If said caster did not hydrate well enough earlier on in the day, which I did not. But that said, neither here nor there, doesn't matter because teams are worth getting excited over, right? Worth talking the talks, as I said. So I'm incredibly happy we're going to that third round. Now I am looking at currently, because we are in a between round timeout here, although one of the players, Speedy it looks like, is sitting on some high ping at the moment. I'm not sure if that's maybe one of the reasons here, that there were some discussions going on. So looks like it might be coming down at least below the cap. It was in the 200s for a bit. Currently at 149, but so yeah, the ping might be a discussion. I'm not quite sure if that's the situation or not, so your guys is as good as mine, but just keeping you guys in the loop. Okay, let's see. Got more things to answer here, so just give me a moment. Sorry for the silence, by the way, but anyone who knows me knows I'm awful at I can't talk and type at the same time, so bear with me. Okay, we're good. Anyway, on that note, still a timeout here, which again, maybe it's a ping thing, maybe not. We're at the 4-minute mark of this pause, which would be the it should be the end of the pause, unless there is a tech issue that does require getting mods involved and perhaps subs or things like that. Like timeouts are 5 minutes, but as Luke actually clarified the other day, which I'll admit even I wasn't fully up to date with, the between round intermission was 4 minutes because, you know, you have the extra 1 minute already by default in the game, so we'll see. But yeah, on that note, we'll bear with it. I don't have anything to cast here until about half an hour from now, so there's time. I'm willing to wait. The only time that I dip out early is if I have to, due to like another cast and scheduling considerations, but otherwise, it's all good. Meanwhile, it is 5:04 Pacific, which is a say on Channel 1. For those curious, there should be right now, indeed, the Austin Burners and Skyline Master Teams starting off in just a moment. Looks like it's in the pre-match scene as of now, so that will definitely be a hot one. We got some options. Meanwhile, it looks like these teams did unpause now, so we got about 30 seconds, presumably, and we'll be back into the third and final round of this game. Also, one sec. Replying to DMs again. All right. Here we go, here we go, here we go. So, round 3 in the books, and everyone joining me here on VRML. Well, look at that. She got a dunk. She got the 3. My goodness, in 3 seconds flat as well. How about that headbutt joust efficiency?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
That was a crazy goal to get started off. Man, that is the thing about those goals. I mean, we're obviously really early on in this 3rd round, but those are the ones that could really buy a team a lot of positive vibes, you know, that can get you going, and it can really crush the other team's momentum just a tad. So we'll see if they can react, and in fact, they do. It's Sokka with a 2, and brings them within 1. Now, a rebuttal was quick in its own right, 15 seconds in.
10, 9, 8.
But yeah, talk about a hot start. Those kind of goals, those headbutt plays, those 3-second goals, I mean, for most teams, for a lot of teams out there, it will really disrupt the flow of your game, because you'll be thinking, are you kidding me? I can't believe that just went in. And sometimes that can get under a team's skin or in their heads a bit. So when teams are able to wipe that off and just go back and execute the opposite way right after, just like Toxin did, that's a good thing. It's a great thing, in fact. But a rebound here by all right down the floor. That's going to be picked off by Giovanni. Giovanni from the top, dinging it off the top of the post. Rebound and a steal, though, from Donk. All with a disc now at the bow tie. Trying to evade Donk. And almost got hit right there, and still will yet at the other end, continuing to brawl. But that said, Sokka winding it in, and Crispy meeting him right there at the barrier. Nice work. But clear into the midfield will be picked off by the stack. Now bouncing right into the bubble, a 2-on-2 in that goal. The handles, though, being lost. Giovanni trying to recover, and a pass very nicely to Speedy. Right at that island, and into the swing through dunk on an alley-oop. Beautiful execution there, and that pass had to be so quick because of the defense nearby. Otherwise, that could have been a very diveable one. But you saw that anchor kind of pass put enough speed on it and made it tough to read, and you know, it was enough to squeeze by that defender and get it into the midst of the well-placed offensive player. So with that, 1-point advantage as Golden Fire sends it over. 15A over below and into the goal. Dunk again. This time, they're back up by 1. And still evenly matched.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
With that, I mean, look, she got a dunk. 13 points, 4 saves, 3 steals. That is a hefty stat line being put in across these rounds. But both teams doing well here on the team play end of things. Of course, never up to just one individual. You also have to have your teammates there to help enable those stats. So with that, defense successfully there from, well, guess who? Donk, in that case, will cause a turnover at the end of the day. But maybe about to turn it over indeed. Tried to duck through, but that risk did not pay off. And now we're finding a miniature Joker train going to unwind into a release in that goal. Not making a 2 points out of that, or a 3-pointer out of that, however. A lot of brawls midair. And floating slowly into what could be an open goal. They have an angle, a jump shot attempt there, and had to do it in order to clear that barrier. So I like the move, but indeed did not produce the points. Still yet, though, Crispy resets out to the midfield. Golden Fire now on the approach. Now Sokka will bounce it right into that left lane, that side wall. Picked off by 0-15. Oh, 15 and 2. Crispy having it saved by Speedy. Also been playing very stalwart defense in the goal once and twice. Now that second one, much more ambitious. Maybe thought there was more space than there actually was when they shot that. But regardless, disc going right back now to Sokka. Sokka trying to bowling ball it in and strike for Sokka. And they're up 7-5. Rock'em, sock'em, Sokka. These Echo bots are on a roll.
8, 7, 6.
What a fiery third round. And really, second and third round, just both of them quite high scoring and fast paced on the offense. Always fun to watch, for sure. Now Donk over into the outer edge of that bubble. Will be Geodudes, and they're on the approach. rather 15, 0-15, as Golden Fire now gets stunned. And Giovanni able to clear it into the trap where it bounces a bit wayward. Giovanni there, another recovery, another bouncer. Could it be again? That's so close. Not quite there. Still good attempts though. Now Donk with a send-off into midfield. That will bounce into that trap on blue side. Recovered by Golden. Speedy still in the goal. Speedy, who has had some saves, several of them here today, and will dive out to secure that again. Now trying to get rid of it into the trap. Asaka is in the general vicinity. So is that disc, though, back into the goal. So back to Speedy once more, seeing if they can find a proper angle. If they want, or if they can, they want to maintain control here and try not to rush a clear that they don't need to rush necessarily. Find some spacing and find the passes. I think they were a little bit slow to it, so this is going to open up some offense now as a Golden Fire tries to go off that clock, unable to convert. But Donk with a pass successfully and right above Speedy on the 2-point tie. 7 apiece between these two golden teams in the gold division. This match definitely some Golden Fire. So making way now for an offensive joust will turn over to Donk once more. So an opportunity for the lead, perhaps. Golden Fire has it stolen by Saka. That is a crucial steal in this final third of the last round. Attempting to retrieve said disc, though. It's Donk once again just all over the place. Really just a standout player here in this game, it would seem. And not just because of the name. But seems to be really everywhere on the floor, wherever they need to be. That said, the stack of 3 will split off into the bubble on the recovery. There's Speedy again. So I kind of brought it up last time, right? Let's see if they can find a pass as opposed to a rush clear or something that turns over. This time they do have that angle, but those are 2 anchor passes in a row now, dating back to a minute ago. That will just result in a turnover. So I think they got to be very, very careful about how they throw these passes. You know, give it a high percentage chance to actually complete. Because otherwise you'll be looking at a goal scored against you and a 2-point deficit. Donk with a score, and up by 2 is Geodudes. We kind of see it's those little errors where, again, Speedy's been playing some good defense on the whole and been able to defend the goal. Even that last one where I believe it turned blue on the way in. So definitely not a knock on Speedy whatsoever, but just recognizing those long-distance anchor passes, they're a bit more difficult to actually successfully complete the pass with, right? Because we saw the last couple of minutes, they just turned the disc over those, and that's where you go look at the VODs afterwards and you say, well, maybe we didn't need to do that. Maybe there was an easier pass. As a nice and easy 3, however. I'm surprised they got that all. Had the defense all over. But still got it past the one in the face and then one in the goal. That is a huge 3. Maybe taking the goalie off guard there. That could be super damaging for Geodudes. So the onus now on Geodudes to have some successful offense once again. Oh, what a costly turnover that was! And a slap 3 from Speedy! So never you mind the turnovers from yesteryear, yesterminute, because Speedy's is saying, we've got this. This is our game to win, and we are up by a minimum of 2 goals now. With only a minute left, this just might be enough to advance them continually up that ladder yet again. A very tough set of turnovers here. But Geodudes still not one to be denied. They're going to make a play, but Saka, the excellent dive, able to read that long-distance pass and cause the TO. As it does sail here into the bubble. Time not so conducive to a comeback. Giovanni with a disc. Off on the pass to all with one more. Soft one to Saka. And they indeed are about to take this victory in the deep end of the third. Always gotta love the extra pass as well, of course. But any way you cut it, this has been a stellar match. Great showing from these teams, without a doubt. Now with that, Crispy trying to make one more play into the deep end. stunned though and knocked out of there. And regardless, third round is over. It really wasn't over until the final minute of action here when Toxin was able to pull away. So full credit to them. They were able to just appropriately clutch it up when they needed to, despite some turnovers that they couldn't afford earlier on. They just made it up on the other side of things, and that's how you do it, because every team will make mistakes regularly. It's just about how you react to said mistakes and how you decide to act the next play, and they were able to just, like I said, clutch it up. Nicely done. But that said, both teams playing amazingly well, and Geodudes nothing to be upset about either, because with that, a successful round.
Papa, can you hear me?
I can. We are live. Who are you? You can answer. We're about done here, actually, on the match, but that said. No, it's Doc Education. What's up, Doc? that honestly did not sound like Doc whatsoever, but anyway. Now, we are done here on this match. Well done, well done. And yeah, taking a look at those stats by IgniteVR.gg, I think we're still dealing with some of those duplication errors, unfortunately. So, you know, with that, it's going to make it a little difficult to give you the exact read on it, so apologies, but nonetheless, we are about to go to the next match in 15 minutes here. I think I'll end the stream just so we can readjust scheduling. I can maybe take a few more matches later on, and we'll figure out what's going to go on later in the night. But yeah, VRML 1 and VRML 2 should be rocking pretty much the evening, most of the evening, so just stay tuned wherever you are. We'll have some good stuff for you. But until then, I've been Palidore, and this has been VRML. Be happy, healthy, safe, and be great to each other. And yeah, we're going to see you again pretty soon.
And we're underway.
Hello. Season 4 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Asterion Products, VRware, Rebuff Reality, VR Cover, and ProTube VR.